Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Bat here. Hope you're doing well. So Netflix, the one and only Netflix, put out a new movie on Friday. Ooh. This stars my boy, my man, the new man crush, up there with Ryan Gosling, Glen Powell, the next It Boy Hollywood star. I say the next Tom Cruise. New movie Hitman, directed by Richard Linklater, who a lot of people know from directing movies like School of Rock, the Before trilogy with Ethan Hawke, Boyhood back in 2014 with Ethan Hawke, and one of my favorites recently, Everybody Wants Some, from 2016, that also had Glen Powell. Looking forward to this movie. This movie was at the Cannes Film Festival. It got bought by Netflix. So this was not a Netflix original per se. This could have been bought by any studio. Universal, Warner Brothers, Amazon, Paramount. But Netflix bought it probably because they're in the business of Glen Powell. They had that one movie Set It Up. That was a Netflix film. Obviously, Sony and Netflix made a deal, so that's why they have also Anyone But You, that also has Glen Powell in it. So, yeah, I was looking forward to this movie. I like Richard Linklater's work. He also did Dazed and Confused. And I like it. I'm really liking my boy Glen Powell. He's getting up there. So let's get into it. Positives. Glen Powell. This guy is a chameleon in this movie. He plays a hitman, a fake hitman, who lures people in for them to tell him that they want to hire him to kill somebody they know, maybe a wife, a friend, a boss, anyone. And each person he meets, he almost becomes like that person's background, so that person would be more inclined to go forward with the hiring Glen Powell to kill whoever they want. But Glen Powell works for the cops, and every time he is a different character, you 100% believe it. It almost reminded me of James McAvoy in the movie Split, where he plays multiple characters, and you believe him in every one. This was Glen Powell. Now, he doesn't do it in the same, like, where McAvoy was able to change to a different character in the same scene, in the same shot. He's not that good. Well, maybe he is. We just don't know that yet. But each time he played a different character, I 100% believed him. And then he has moments where it reminded me of him as, like, Tom Cruise in the Born of 4th of July. Or then when he's his normal self, Gary, he has this long hair with his glasses on. It was almost creepy. It was like a recluse living at home, not talking, very weird. He reminded me of Johnny Depp in the movie Secret Window. So, like, he can be charming and fun, like a Tom Cruise, and then next minute be very weird, creepy, like Johnny Depp. I mean, it was like, whoa. His chemistry with Adria Arjona, I don't know how to say her last name. Great chemistry between both of them. Really bought it. They did a really very steamy romance. Also, Glen Powell actually wrote the script with Richard Linklater. So Glen Powell has a writing credit on this movie. So he's not just the star of the film. Adria Arjona, I don't know how you say her last name, she was really good in here. She brought that sex appeal, and like then that chemistry with Glen Powell was on fire, very steamy, very hot. Ooh, hot. Once you touch the hiney. He always reminds me of like Isaac Gonzalez in a 90s version of Selma Hayek brought together. She's fairly new to the business. She was in that Father of the Bride remake in 2022. She was in Morbius. She was in Andor on Disney Plus. And she was in True Detective Season 2. But I really liked her in this movie. I think this was her best role so far. I thought she was funny, she was charming, very sexy at times, emotional in moments. So I'm definitely interested to see more of her down the line. This movie is very funny, a lot of dark humor. This is a dark comedy. And there are moments where it does get pretty dark. Not like horror or anything like that, but like this is a dark comedy. I was laughing throughout the film. It was only like an hour and 48 minutes. Not too long of a movie, very quick, great pace to it. And there's a very steamy romance to it. And even the idea and the plot around it reminded me of the 1999 remake of the Thomas Crown Affair with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo and Dennis Leary. It very much had, especially in the steamy romance stuff, very much had that like feel to it. And I'm a big fan of that remake of Thomas Crown Affair. That's actually my favorite Pierce Brosnan film. And like I said, Richard Linklater, I think he does a really good job here. He gets great performance out of Glen Powell. Like I said, he's very much like a chameleon in this movie. Also, Adria Arjona. Also, he wrote the script with Glen Powell. Also, some of the shots are really good. There's a shot in the bathtub with Glen Powell and Adria Arjona. It starts as a close-up shot, and then it dollies back, and then it becomes like, and then it just sits there for the rest of the scene. And the scene is over 5 minutes long, and it's just two people talking in the bathtub as a wide shot. No cuts. I thought it makes you feel in the moment, this very vulnerable, very steamy, very sexy scene. Two very hot people in the bathtub, and it feels real. It doesn't feel like you're watching a movie in that moment. Negatives with this movie. The last 5 minutes of this movie feel like an alternate ending, like a tacked-on epilogue. There's a certain moment, you'll know when you feel like the movie's about to end, and then there's two more scenes after it, and you just go, why didn't you just end it right here instead of right here, not there, here? It would have also made that ending here made you think a little bit more like, ooh, what's going to happen to these characters? There's a supporting cast in here. One of the actors worked with Richard Linklater and Glen Powell in Everybody Wants Some. And then the female character was in that show, Good Girls, that TV show. I wish they spent some more time with them. They're in the movie throughout, but we really don't spend enough time with them. I wish we spent a little bit more time. Other than that, this is a really fun movie. Like I said, it's a crime movie, it's a comedy, it's a little bit of a noir mystery behind it. It's a romance with that. Also has those moments of a romantic comedy in there too. The meet cute. Something happens and they kind of break up for a little bit. Then they come back together. So it has a lot of different genres in one. And it works on pretty much all of them. So yeah, this is another win for Glen Powell. I don't think it deserves a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was a good movie, but 98%? 98? But I would still give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's really funny. The romance is really good. The chemistry between Glen Powell and Adria Arjona, very great. Steamy, sexy. Ooh, hot. Very hot. So yeah, did you see the movie Hitman on Netflix? It's a Netflix film. I wish it was in theaters. I think I would have enjoyed it even more in the theater with a crowd of people laughing at the right moments and all that. This would have been a great date movie to take take a date to a film, you know, whether that's the first date or the second date, probably the second date. Yeah, it would have been great. I mean, it is a romantic comedy too in there. So, yeah. Did you see Hitman? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Not the back.